it would be funny as hell to give Rakio the silver key and have Rakio just figure everything out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Gnosia. We come back as we normally do with notes and a comment. I do have a board, and that will be linked down below, but there is no changes to it, as with our, 2-episode spread of being a bug, no relationship things have changed, and I haven't appreciably taken any... Nothing's really happened to the board because of that loop cycle. So, again, the board will be linked down below, but it'll just be the same board that it has been. So then, on to notes. So I did a quick check, and sources online list Gnosia as being a 21-episode run, meaning after today, we'll have 3 episodes left for whatever story arc remains. You know, I hadn't really thought about this, but I'm going to have to replace this on the schedule with something, and I haven't really thought about what to do it with. I guess either... sorry. If you have a suggestion, put it down below. I was just thinking maybe they were 11 because that had came up a lot in the early listings, and I've never seen that, and it looked interesting. Especially considering... sorry, I don't even know if that came up early here. It might have come up when I was watching a different show that was in this time slot previously. Anyway, it was just a thought. If you have a suggestion, link a suggestion down below. I might do a poll for it. We'll find out. It's odd that Yuri initially thinks he's looping in the same world line, having already been presented with the conceit that each failure is a destroyed universe. I mean, he's already had branching universes explained to him by Rakio before, so this isn't new. Just seems like it should be obvious by now that these are individual world lines, not a repeating one. So, as per Setsu's previous indication towards doing his best because this life is all that these people have, he should know that the cost of all of this is... I mean, I know he goes into a spiral trying to end it, but I'm not exactly sure if he realizes that these are all different people over and over again. There ought to be a portion of Setsu's loops where the day started, and partway through, they would just suddenly loop with no explanation. Granted, if Setsu is moving the other way on the timeline, as I've said, then we are before they would have a chance to mention it now. And I will say, I've written this as though this is a certainty. There was the weirdness of him dropping the mug and then waking up and then the mug disappearing. Like this was Back to the Future, a photograph. I don't know, maybe I'm in the wrong, but it just doesn't feel like that's the way this was shown to be going down. I think we are going to be approaching the start of the opening credits. Whatever causes Setsu to be lying on the floor at the start of the opening is going to be where Yuri passes them the silver key, I'm thinking. Was just thinking what I would have done before going Groundhog's Day with offing myself. I mean, I know in the reaction I went right to jumping out the airlock, which Yuri did attempt. But thinking for a moment, I think I also would have tried sending the real me a message. Unless I'm forgetting something, it seems like visual contact is what sets everything off. So I try to warn myself about what was going on to try and intentionally prevent that from happening. Now, if it's knowledge of the other that causes it, then I'd break into some sort of psychological shit. Write a note to my real self, pretending to be that version of me, and include a bit about amnesia, and then figure a way to explain the situation that makes itself sound plausible. Like Total Recall, the OG version, if you remember. Well, I don't know if it's exactly the way to say it. He gets a message from a video recording of himself pretending to be a secret agent from, another guy who tells himself what to do. Like, I could just send myself a message pretending to be me from before I got amnesia, informing me of what to do. Therefore, present me doesn't think that bug me is bug me, causing not the thing to happen. The only problem would be real version freaking out or some random person wandering into the bay and finding it first. Anyway, that would just be my idea of what to do before, going off on the suicide track. Also surprising that Yuri never attempts to kill their real self. They'd prevent them from waking up and seeing them. I imagine the silver key wouldn't cause a loop until Rakio left the ship, or rather, any scenario wherein the key felt that Yuri wouldn't be able to get the info it requires from this world line. I don't know why I put Rakio in there, because clearly the thing that he needs to hear is actually himself. So, actually, killing himself would just cause the loop to happen. The note doesn't work, in hindsight. If evidence of a dual Yuri existence causes the universe to be destroyed, I wonder if the suicide or realities actually helped. Like, will they find Yuri's body before Yuri gets off the ship, and the information would still create the paradox? For that matter, why doesn't Levi count? Levi's sensors should be fully on with no Gnosia about. Levi detects an alien being in the bay, it knows who was put into the pod, should have a record of them never leaving the pod, and a second Yuri suddenly appearing. Plus, the pod's scanners should detect the person in the pod as Yuri. That should be all the info needed. Hell, there's a camera in the room. The moment the pod opens, Levi has visual proof of two Yuris, and a paradox should occur. Why shouldn't a machine intelligence not count towards the observer effect? I mean, Stella is just an extension of Levi. I'm sure if Stella saw two Yuris, we'd achieve paradox. Speaking of scarring people left behind, poor Otomi. I feel bad for her every time. Still, good info that the engineer can wipe away the bug. Also likely a reality that can continue to exist after Yuri leaves. Excepting for, of course, my theory that Levi should wipe away every reality too. Unsure if Gina is actually a bad cook in a non-Gnosia world, or if Yuri just doesn't like wasabi. So wait, it occurs to me actually, does this mean an engineer never scanned Yuri before? I stupidly didn't mark it before. I probably could have used my line system to keep track of that. I know in recent memory that only the bluff of Yuri being scanned was used, but if Yuri has always been the bug, then at some point in the past, a loop should have just randomly ended with no explanation if Yuri had been engineer scanned. We'd know now in the present what the difference was because Yuri didn't scream when Otomi scanned him, versus him being killed in warp by the Gnosia and screaming. I mean, I get what SQ is saying. It's really nice. You're alive. You are you. Not being whatever real Yuri is doesn't change that. It's all great. Except he still destroys the universe by accident. There's the mindfuck that SQ's speech doesn't jump the hurdle of. Certainly, what I like the most about Yuri is that at his lowest point, he talked to Setsu about his problem and considered her well-being above his own. That confiding in her could ruin her experience in the looping more than anything else. And ended up giving her a pep talk instead. That makes for a special kind of character. I think I appreciate Yuri that much more for it. Gotta say, my Rakio is the smartest of all. I wouldn't have thought about the bug and silver key as separate elements for at least a couple of hundred deaths. Introduced to the problem for the first time and they figure it out. As much as my Rakio sucks in the meetings, still the best character on the ship. IMO. I've been saying from episode 1 or 2 that Setsu and Yuri had a thing from back on the planet before all this ship stuff. I feel like this is just vindication that real Yuri felt that way and was willing to throw their life on the line to save Setsu. And my final note. So Yuri being on the ship at the end of the episode must mean that Yuri will be guard duty in this new loop, right? I guess also a bug that is now their default role? But should only affect engineer scans, since there should be no other Yuri. So gotta act less suspicious to not get deleted by an engineer that thinks that you are acting funny. I am slightly confused on one point though. If Yuri wakes up before the Nos infection, and it's implied that the first person the Nos take out is Yuri, which still hasn't been answered why they don't freak out seeing Yuri suddenly back, by the way, then shouldn't that mean he's about to get taken out? Or does it mean that real Yuri is out there helping Setsu during the evacuation when all the crew gets on the ship, and Setsu will now be suspicious having seen real Yuri get taken out? Or will Setsu not make it because Bug Yuri exists and real Yuri doesn't? So no one to save them during the attack. There's I guess 3 variables in my thought process now about what the indication of Yuri waking up on the ship during the attack means. Because if he is guard duty, Setsu should be screwed. Unless he's waking up in a reality where there is a real Yuri, in which case he's risking paradox. But it could also be that the Nos takes out real Yuri, and one doesn't wind up on the ship. And thus, we're going to have a very confused Gnosia wondering what the fuck is a second Yuri doing here, but they can only talk to themselves about it, and they can't use that during meetings. Which, we're getting a lot of that. Well, we've gotten a lot of that. Particular groups or, silver key users who can't discuss why they know a thing to make it pertinent. Anyway, I did say we had a comment. Sage Bastion from the Patreon from the episode Bug. Now I can say it, but the story diverged a little from the game now, but in a very good way. So I'm pretty hyped now because I don't know how they are going to do the end. Well, I mean, I'm on the same boat as you. I never knew. You probably suspected because of the game. Now you're on my boat. Anyway, like I said, we got 3 episodes after we watch this episode today, so I guess let's just go ahead and jump on in and see where we're going.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
We never really saw how widespread the infection was. Well, there we go. Okay, it's not exactly what I thought we were going to start with. Like I said, I still have my questions about what this might imply to, one, Setsu, and her saving everybody. Is there going to be a real Yuri out there who may or may not be killed, or may not be brought aboard the ship to then be in the pod? What the hell Setsu's going to think, because this might be pre-Silver Key Setsu, now that we know that we're going past them. They just said they've only looped a couple of times, which either might be the next 3 episodes or, something else. And the element is Yuri actually on guard duty, because this feels like the guard duty presumption. In which case, I don't know, I feel like they've always indicated guard duty is just 2 people, right? In which case, who else is on guard duty? Because when I said that's not what I expected, I didn't, we've never really gotten an outside the ship scene, except for the one time we looked at Earth, and the one time we had a space thing. So I expected them to run into the hallway and see somebody on guard duty. Would have been a bitch if it was real Yuri that was on guard duty. Could be Setsu. This could be the moment where Setsu and Yuri save everyone. In this game, it's just fake Yuri.
船を出せ、今すぐに。
しかし、管制官からは発艦の許可は出ていません。
緊急勧告が出ているのだ。各自の判断で出るしかない。
Everyone's already here.
やはりまだルーアにいる。離陸前なんだ。急がないと。
Yeah, and everyone's already on the ship.
ジョナスの言う通りだ。早く。ユーリ様。
怪我はもういいのかよ。
早く。ですが、
軍人なのでしょう。適切な対処をなさい。
船長や彼の言うように、今は無理にでも脱出するしかない。
おいおい、大丈夫なのかよ。
I mean, because you can't wait for the tower, because the tower can be infected by Gnosia, and they're not going to let you go.
でも、もたもたしていたらグノーシアさんに汚染されてしまうの。
その通り。
Interesting. I just heard that for the first time. Otomi going, Gnosia. Have I been pronouncing it wrong for 18 episodes?
出力上昇。離陸します。
So how did somebody get infected if they were all on the friggin' ship? I will say it's funny because in my head I imagine something like more out of Firefly than that. because that was way more energetic than I thought it was going to be. I mean,
わからない。
どういうこと？
デビ、船内のグノーシア反応は？
グノーシア反応はありません。ルーアンから無事脱出を確認。
so there should be a real Yuri somewhere,
これで僕たちみんな無事。
unless they died on the planet.
仮にグノーシア汚染されていたらどこの港も入れてはくれまいからな。
でもこれからどこに向かうんですか？
僕としてはとっととグリーゼに帰りたいんだけど。
その前にルーアンの現状を伝えるべく軍に立ち寄るべきと愚行するが。
軍？
それ意味あるの？
まあ飯食いながら考えたらい
I'm
いんじゃないかな。
confused because
もうのんびり
we've
できる
been
だろ。
indicated before that the only timelines where the ship's not Gnosia infected, there's a real Yuri.
落ち着いて整理しよう。ここはいつもループしていたあの日の1日前。言うなればデイゼロの世界。医務室には怪我して運び込まれた本物の僕が眠っているはずだ。そして治療を終えて目覚めるのは多分
Okay, so yeah,
目覚めた瞬
so
間
you've been given an
無
extra
重存在となり
day.
この宇宙は崩壊する。つまりこの前までのループに比べれば一日猶予はできたということだけれど。
So there's something that happens in day zero that you need
なぜ
to
ここに来た
witness.
かだ。まだ満ちてない。だとしたら答えは簡単だ。ここに銀の鍵が求める何か情報があるということだ。説。
それ取ってくれないか？
ああ。はい。
ありがとう。確かユーリだったか。
Why don't you know my name?
悪いけどそこ影になって邪魔なんだ。避けてくれないか？
あ、ごめん。
That really defeats my they had something going on theory that she doesn't know who Yuri is.
心配な箇所がいくつもあるんだ。
知らないふり。でも
すまない。実はまだループを始めて
Yeah,
数
Yuri,
回
we
だ
figured this out already.
そうだ。この船にグノーシアはいないはずだ。ループのことを隠しておく必要は。
何か？
いや。
Are we just back before they got the silver key to begin with?
なんだいそれは。もうすぐデブリ地帯を通る。その前にまだ確認しておきたい箇所があるんだ。失礼する。
Okay, yeah, so we're like the early episodes where Yuri thought that, well, I don't know if Yuri thought they were alone because they thought Setsu was there.
それはこんなに溜まっている。
Remember that Rakio
まさか生きた研究対象に会えるとはね。
Rakio knew the words.
鍵の奴隷になるのはどんな気分？
Rakio knew the words that Setsu
はあ？
told Yuri
そうだ。問題を一つ出
that Yuri then told Setsu.
君が僕に舐められたもんだね。
それは受けてくれるということかな。
If I could, every fucking thumbnail would be of my
問題ない
Rakio.
公開すぎて退屈していたところだ。ただしくだらない問題だったら相当の対価を払ってもらうよ。なるほど。ループしているはずの説が。
ああ、記憶を失っているの
Come
か。
on,
それとも
Yuri.
何か理由があって
You could have figured this out. We figured this out.
それは問題じゃなくて相談だろ。まったく。
そうでも言わないと聞いてくれそうもなかったから。
It would be funny as hell
退屈して
to
いた
give
から
Rakio the
特別に
silver
答えて
key
やる
and have Rakio just figure everything out.
答えは簡単さ。驚くほどね。
そうなのか。
ああ、とりあえず説が何も覚えてないのが事実だとするとこう考えられる。説はもともと
I love the face
ループなん
markings.
てしてなかったんじゃない？今までずっと説は自分もループしているなんて嘘をついて君を騙していたのさ。君を味方に引き入れるために。
説がずっ
If Setsu wasn't looping, she wouldn't get anything by lying. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, logically that made no sense to begin with.
真実はもっと単純さ。よく考えてごらんよ。ここは君がループしていた時間よりさらに前の時間なんだよ。前の。そう。説はまだ鍵を持ってない。この世界線の説はループする前の説なのさ。おそらく得るべき情報もそこに関係している。デイ1以降では得られない情報だからね。すごいな。はあ
So maybe I'm right about the Setsu on the floor thing.
ラキオはすごい。君がいなかったらここまでたどり着けなかった。ありがとう。
Yuri Rakio OTP?
そこまで気づいているんだったらまだ足り
It's
な
in
い
the
もの
room.
があるってわかりそうなもんだが。
Yeah, where the second key comes from. It's in the room with him. Sorry, it's in the room with Rakio. Sorry, I'm so used to saying im apostrophe m to being plural.
警告いたします。船体に異常発生。シールド破損が検知されました。
That's where they were. Are they gonna be lying on the floor? Not really.
早く逃げて。私はもうだから説ダメだ。
Too much interesting stuff happening too close together. I did say, wouldn't it be interesting if there was a third looper?
昔ユーリがそう言ってくれたよね。
And Rakio has a key in their room?
Rakio! Rakio!
What does that say? Is that the lines?
これを使うことになるんだろう。探す手間を省いてやるから感謝しなよ。
Rakio.
I think he even guessed before that Rakio may be a secret third looper.
ユーリ。今から言う言葉を繰り返して。言葉。いいから。疑うな。疑うな。恐れるな。恐れるな。そして知れ。
Again, previous episode, Rakio said the words.
知ることで救われる。知ることで救われる。ユーリ。これで説はループに巻き込まれる。でも生きてほしいんだ。説に。
I was about to say, technically there should be a dead body there now, and then their consciousness was back. Was that 838?
また来てしまったみたいだね。ここに。
So we're in Groundhog's Day rules now, where we just don't see all of the loops.
銀の鍵を出してみて。
これは。
よく頑張ったね。ついに鍵に全ての情報が満たされた。これでループを終えることができる。やっと君に返すことができる。
返す？
I guess Yuri can pass it on to Rakio?
死ぬ運命にあった私を助けてくれたこと。その恩を返したい。そう思ってここまでループを続けてきた。 さあ、終わらせよう。扉を開くんだ。
We're gonna play the perfect game?
Ladies and gentlemen, now party time!
パーリ
じゃあ会場のご挨拶ってことで、キャプテンジョナス
The fuck is happening?
主君主君お前が一番うるさいんだよ。
皆揃っているな。では始めるとしよう。全員知っていることと思うが、改めて名乗らせてもらおう。私がジョナス。そう、当船の船長ジョナスだ。ルーアン
を出た後、グノーシア汚染者はいない。ということは、またデイワンに戻ってきたということか。
大丈夫。心配しなくても。
Does he just have like the power to choose his own timeline now? Is that what this is indicating to us?
挨拶投げぞ
はい、じゃあ乾杯。お祝いね。まだ気を抜くには
Yakusha
早
could
いん
still be
じ
a
ゃないか
fucking
な。
murderer. No
他
Gnosia
の
doesn't mean
世
you're
界だと
safe.
安全とは限らないだろ
先のことを気にすんなって。
Also, Comet's mold could kill everybody still too.
ラキオも食べなよ。
ユーリも食べて。
ジナ
You could have wasabi on it.
実は尽くすタイプ？
太らせるのが好きなだけ。
まさかのデブ戦？
違う。太らせるのが好きなだけ。
But not as a fetish thing. You're not a feeder feedy.
俺らがこうしてのんびりしてられんのって節のおかげだよな。
はい、僕も節さん尊敬しています。ルーアンで僕たちを助けてくれたとき。
Man, not freaking out even though SQ's in the room.
ありがとう。だけど軍人として責務を果たしただけだから。それに私も逃げている途中で誰かに助けられたし。
誰かって？
それはわからないんだけど。
Yeah, Yuri said to hide it.
命の恩人なのです。私いつか恩返ししたいのです。
Yuri, secret
忘れ
hero.
てくれていいよ。いや、きっと忘れるんじゃないかな。
Oh, is this Setsu's first loop?
失礼いたします、ユーリ様。
僕、
このような席で大変お聞き苦しいのですが、実は
もしかして。
なぜユーリが2人いるのか、そのことを聞きたいんだろ。
セツ様、はい、おっしゃる
Bug.
通りです。
He's a bug, and this is a universe with the real one.
どういう意味です？安心して、今からその問題を解決するから。
ですが、解決と言っても。
How does Yuriko not know?
私を信じてほしい。
わかりました。
おいおい、どういうことだよ。
みんなはここで食事を続けてくれ。すぐに戻るから。ユーリ、君は来てくれ。
わかった。
Ready to go kill real Yuri? What's going on?
残しておいてくれ。ユーリの分を。
Or is she going to be the engineer and she get rid of the bug?
が知識や情報で全て満たされたとき、どうなると言われているか。
宿り主の体を離れ、新たな宿り主を求めて別の次元に移動する。
そう、そして言ったはずだ。それが君自身の問題を解決するためには重要だ。
So if he destroys the universe now, he's fucked. Or he returns back to Nas, I'm not actually sure.
まずは君の鍵だ。出してみて。
Also, is the implication that Rakio captured a silver key?
これは。
思った通りだ。これは別の宇宙に移動することができる扉だ。
Yeah, but seemingly into deep space.
本来世界は無数の分岐によって成り立っている。それらの選択によって個人の世界の未来、運命が形作られていく。この扉の向こうにあるもう一つの宇宙とは、こちらの宇宙と干渉しない全く別の世界なんだ。選択によって因果がつながることも 影響し合うことも
The world of the person playing the
ゲームの
game?
セーブデータってあるだろ。あれみたいなものさ。
Got there. I got
同
there.
じ人物、同じ物語でも互いに干渉することは一切ない。
This is legit entering into my whole why is there a typing sound when he switches lines.
互いに干渉することは二度となくなり、二重存在の問題は起きない。
ここで君とはお別れだ。
I mean, this doesn't change him into not a bug. Wouldn't he just be another bug? Oh, never mind. Getting rid of him.
君と私、二人ともここでループを抜けられると。
違うのか。
私もそう思っていた。けど、できないんだ。だって私の銀の鍵は満たされていない。分かっただろう。当然だ。なぜなら私は、この私は、まだ君に鍵を渡したことがないのだから。これを通った先の次元で扉を閉めたとき、君のループは完全に終わる。開けたら閉めろということだね。ダメだ。
But we already... Sorry, that silver key already left, which means that that did happen.
わからない。けど、私が行くしかないんだ。扉の向こうで、私はいつか終わるまでループを続けるしかない。もう一つの宇宙で、君に鍵を渡すまで。
So it was Setsu from save file 3 that jumped into save file 1?
頼む、ユーリ。君と一緒に過ごしてきた。これまでのループをなかったことにはしたくないんだ。私が今ここにいるのは君のおかげだよ。私は君に救われた。君がいたから今まで生きてこられたんだ。だから今返すよ。
I mean, I've gone through this before.
これから君が生きていく世界を。
This is when the Doctor and Rose went to different universes and didn't get to finish saying I love you. I watched that shit live. It was happening on TV. Doctor Who. I didn't say it was Doctor Who. I meant Doctor Who.
今までありがとう。
I was crying back then. That was... Again, we have 3 episodes left. I won't say lied about... Sorry, voice crack there. I won't say lied about how many episodes there were in order to throw us all off. You know, like when you watch a YouTube video, and it's like a mystery, and they leave like a little like 15 extra minutes on the video just to throw you off so you can't guess when the twist is about to happen. SQ lived with Gina after spending some time at school. She became private detective for some reason. Stand By Me ending. After selling her slime to a black market dealer that should be introduced to, Comet was able to buy the ship of her dreams on a planet covered in slime. The black market dealer's adventure begins. Okay. Pretty funny, I gotta read as fast as I can. I'm telling you, bud, I'm a little gray. With those mysterious parting words, Shigemichi was never heard from again. Okay. Stand By Me ending for him. After returning to Glyze with Rakio, Rendon became the leader of a group of rebels. His enemies feared his undying tenacity and unwillingness to provide either quarter or forgiveness. Okay. So everyone's forgetting Setsu, is what I'm getting. Again, shouldn't there be a Setsu from another loop? Xiaoming went to become a famous zoologist. The animal community he created and his amazingly intrusive methods of examining his subjects drew extremely mixed reactions from the scientific community. He fucked his subjects, is what I'm getting. This is interesting. I wish I had the no pause thing, right? Jonas is crazy. Jonas continued to wander the galaxy. He died alone. What happened to Stella in Kakushra? After giving Jonas his last rites, Stella entered a sleep of her own together with the ship. She awaits a kiss that will awaken her. Oh, that's cute. We're not considering Stella alive? He didn't die alone if Stella was there. After Nikolai's, Rakio grew disillusioned with the authoritarian government and started a revolution together with Remnin. The gloriously nude statue of Rakio now stands in the Nikolai's Revolution Memorial Plaza, serves as a popular meeting spot. I gotta go there. After landing, Gina returned to her job as a space traffic controller. She lived a simple, honest life and was loved by many. Of course. We gotta be jumping to another save file after this. I don't know what the hell happened. Chippy underwent felinification, completing his transition into a cat. It is said that the adventurer Comet always had a black cat by her side wherever she went. Oh, there we go. Chippy became a black cat. After returning to Nada, Otome participation in many research projects known as the Mother of Intellectualization, she became a symbol of human and animal integration. Xiaoming was wrong. Kakusha went with Otome to Nada. After spending some time there, she suddenly disappeared. No one knows where she ended up. She fucking started killing people, I'm sure. I appreciate that hers was like no speech, just a look. Because apparently we can communicate everything with a look with Kakusha. This episode has to end with like a record scratch. There's no fucking way we end with an everyone forgot Setsu. Sorry, hand up here for spoiler. This is the Madoka Magica ending. This is the no one knows of the sacrifice made except for me. In this case, me, it's, sorry, hands up still, is Yuri. I kind of hate that, but it's also sad as fuck. Whoop. Sorry, it's throw me out there. Sorry, no spoilers. God, what the fuck, man? Again, the element, there's 3 episodes left. What are we gonna do? Are we going to... There's other save files we just covered. Are we gonna go to another save file and see what happened there? Are we gonna play one last game of 3 episodes? Again, not for nothing. As I said before, I just got good at the game, and now we're done. No way! Oh, are we doing that? Oh, we don't know what happened to her. Wow, I gotta fucking chill. Not because we don't know what happened to her, I just mean like seeing this and like the impetus that it's all over. The curtain call. Sorry, are we doing that? The thing that came to my mind is that when Reboot Season 3 was coming to an end, they did like one last episode where they covered kind of like everything that had happened in like a play sort of thing. Like hey, experience the story from our perspective, the characters in the world, as we retell it. And that's what I think about when people say that sort of thing. And God, like you're just there in the middle. And obviously no Setsu. 3 episodes to save Setsu, maybe? I don't know how we would, but like obviously we can figure something out. Also, not for nothing, Yuri is still the bug. That didn't get fixed. She literally just brought real Yuri to another save world. Which, wouldn't that just cause them to be a paradox? Like, I don't think that technically makes them a bug, but they're not the real Yuri of that universe anymore. Or save file, or whatever you want to call it. So wouldn't that just mean that Yuri is not going to have a silver key, is just going to look at the Yuri of that universe and destroy it? Also, that is the meta implication there that the bug is like a computer virus, and he's like deleting save files. I guess it's like Yuri is the player of the game. Is that like the implication? Because I think you guys have said that Yuri is not a character in the game, so he's the player with save files. I guess save scumming. That's Yuri's crime. He's save scumming. I've told you all before, and maybe you guys don't know because you're only watching Gnosia. I've said this before in other reactions. I know specifically ones I've done with lessons. That one of the saddest things for me is always the story of the unknown epic. Memories of Nobody, obviously, from Bleach, where the character has this whole story, and it's a real sad story, and they go through the whole thing, and by the end of the thing, their whole memory of ever existing is gone away. Nobody remembers who they are. So you have this whole sad story, and then nobody remembers. I guess Year of Hell, or whatever it was from Star Trek Voyager. Not Year of Hell. There's the one where they go to the planet and it clones them, and then clones think that they're real, and then they all just start dying off one after another because they don't remember that they're clones either, and no one knows the story. Like even the thing full of their memories that they try and launch towards Voyager, which is heading in that direction, evaporates, and just nobody will know. There's another anime example. I just can't remember what it is. The unknown epic always gets to me because it's always a long story about people that you care about, and then they vanish. As I said when I did the spoiler, I already said the spoiler bit, but what I said in that bit, also that show. Yeah, I mean, geez. Sorry, it's also throwing me Comet there, because Comet and SQ, always sexualized. SQ from the bottom up, I felt like. Comet definitely from... But you can't touch Comet. I don't know why this is even coming up, it's just the element that she's fucking right there. What the hell do we do with 3 episodes? I still don't really understand. I mean, this might be for the rewatch, for when I rewatch to take my notes. Why Setsu went through. I understand why she pushed real Yuri through to save Bug Yuri, but she didn't have to go through herself. And she's like the element of, if I don't go through, then I don't give you the key, which will prevent you from looping. Which, sure, maybe, but that happened way back, you know? Wouldn't that then cause a paradox? But then again, I guess it's different world lines. I guess that's what he explained. The element that his consciousness is here. But then again, there's all paradox. Because if Setsu does not give him the key, then the key never gets the information to create the door to another dimension. I don't foresee how the key jumps world lines, right? The key does not jump time. Although, see, there's no... The element that sends you to another world line, and that world line might be a day before, does not imply time travel. This all gets handled in other not better sci-fi series, but other shows that are better able to explain things than I am. Just because a thing appears to be a day before another timeline just might mean that all of history is just a day off in that timeline, just a thing. So the element that it doesn't seem to be separate from time itself. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's not that it hurts the story any. I mean, from the element that it makes things fucking sadder. Except for that, again, Stand By Me ending that we got, where Rocky has a naked statue to themselves. Not that it feels like that they would want that. Why did they lead a revolution and get a naked statue? Also, the meta of this shot. God, I hope future me remembers to keep this shot up. If future me is dumb, remember the final shot of the show. That everyone is marching to the left, except for SQ and Kakushira. SQ, who might themselves be a carrier of Manan, right? So the possibility that they're evil. And Kakushira, who also might be a carrier of Manan and has killed a bunch of people on the ship before. They're the only people facing the other direction. I don't know, I could possibly say something about the fact that Stella and Shigemichi are also facing camera. The two that have been in a relationship together before. I guess Shigemichi, artificial body, artificial skin, Stella, artificial being, maybe? I guess the thing that's also going against my theory about SQ and Kukushira is the fact that Yuriko, over there on the end, is also facing left. And very clearly, she's been up to shit. And she is also involved with Manon. I guess technically not being inhabited by Manon, though. I guess that's the only thing that's standing out to me about the image, though. Again, the direction. Shit that I went through when Witch from Mercury Season 2 was coming out. It's like, oh, everyone's looking in different directions. And this person's hands are extended this way. Are they reaching out to that? And theory crafting over a poster. Jeez, Rick. I don't know. I am happy with the show the way it's been so far. That can't be the ending. If it is the ending, it's not that it's super unsatisfying. It's just the element that I don't want it to end there. There's got to be more. There's got to be more. That's it. There's got to be more. There's no way it ended on unknown. It's just the element. I'm going to leave this here for future to remember, which is to say that this week I'm recording this. Next week there wouldn't be an episode for Gnosia because of the Olympics, right? They need the broadcasting time for whatever they're going to put there, assuming the Olympics, which means that this episode airs and appears to be the final episode. And then there's going to be a week of nothing. And then after that, we find out if there's more episodes, again, declared to be 21. We find out there's going to be more episodes or this was it. So there's going to be a week of uncertainty. Insane. I also have to admit that I only remember the Rockio one because, of course, I'm attached to Rockio, right? But I read everything as fast as I could, and it did not allow me time to have it stick in my head. So obviously, when I come back, I'll have some thoughts about, where are they now for everybody. But again, I just don't think that's going to be it. I don't think it's going to stick. Either we're going to jump to another save file and say, do a clue ending of like, oh, that would be interesting, but what if things happened this way? Or, I don't know. The fact that they did a Stand By Me, and this is where they all wind up. Either there's going to be a clue in that, which is the people who went missing, maybe, or I'm grasping at straws because I don't want it to end. And I feel like I'm artificially elongating the conversation because I also don't want it to end. But at the end of the day, it's got to end. So I will say, even if this was for some reason the last episode, which I do not believe, we would not be done yet because, like many shows we do here on the channel, we also do a character ranking, which means that at some point in the future, keep a notice for the posted schedule wherever you notice the schedule posted, whether they be on the YouTube community section, on the Patreon, or on the Discord. There will eventually be a link to a Gnosia character ranking where you can add your rankings to the Gnosia characters so that when I do an eventual ranking video, we can put them on a tier list of characters. I think we all understand what ranking is. I don't have to go into that any further. Anyway, yeah, to prevent myself from rambling further, I guess we got to wrap up here. So, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?